Unlocking IAM, simplifying identity and access management for practical use. Welcome. In this video, we're diving into one of the most critical topics for IT professionals today, identity and access management, or what we simply call IAM. Whether you're a complete beginner in cloud systems or an IT pro looking to solidify your understanding, this session will guide you through the essentials of IAM, and more importantly, help you set up a secure and functional system in practical terms. So, let's get started. IAM, or Identity and Access Management, is essentially the framework that governs who can access what resources in your digital environment. Think of it as the digital gatekeeper, ensuring the right individuals have access to the right tools or data, and no one else. In simpler terms, imagine IAM as a building security system. Every user is given a digital key, and just like physical keys, IAM is responsible for defining where that key fits. Some are just for the front door, while others might allow access to highly restricted areas. The goal is to create a system that's secure, scalable, and user-friendly. Why does this matter? Because security breaches, whether caused by malicious intent or human error, often happen when access is mismanaged. IAM lowers this risk by controlling and monitoring access in a structured and efficient way. Now that you understand what IAM is at its core, let's explore how this works on a fundamental level. IAM might sound technical, but at its heart, it's made up of just a few foundational building blocks. Let's break these down. Identities. These represent the who of your system, which could be individual users, groups of users, or even other systems acting like users. Authentication. This is about proving that users are who they say they are, like entering a password or using multi-factor authentication, MFA. Authorization. Once a user is authenticated, authorization decides what they can or cannot do, based on their roles or permissions. Roles and permissions. Roles are collections of permissions, assigned to users or groups depending on their responsibilities. Instead of assigning individual permissions to each user, roles streamline this process. Policies. These are the rules and conditions that define access levels. Policies are how you set boundaries and control resource use efficiently. To bring this to life, let's stick to the analogy of a building security system. Think of identities as employees of the building. Authentication is their ID badge, confirming their identity. Authorization decides whether that badge grants access to the lobby, a secured server room, or just the cafeteria. Roles and policies ensure everything is consistent and scalable. While IAM isn't new, it's especially important in cloud environments, where systems need a high degree of flexibility, scalability, and security. The traditional one-size-fits-all approach to access management just doesn't work anymore. In the cloud, resources exist in dynamic environments where services can multiply or change rapidly. Without a robust IAM system, it's nearly impossible to consistently grant access or revoke it when necessary. IAM provides a structured approach to govern access and reduces risks, such as accidental data leaks or insider threats. Now that we've explained why IAM is essential and how it works on a basic level, let's talk about how to do it right. Following these best practices will not only improve security, but also help you avoid unnecessary complexity. Adopt the principle of least privilege. Give users only the access they need to perform their jobs. Nothing more, nothing less. This minimizes risk in case credentials are compromised. Enable multi-factor authentication. MFA. MFA adds an additional layer of verification, ensuring that even if passwords are stolen, unauthorized access remains difficult. Regularly audit and update policies. IAM is never a one-and-done process. Regularly review who has access to what, and adapt policies to reflect changes, such as employees switching roles or leaving the organization. Use group-based access management. Instead of assigning permissions user by user, arrange users into logical groups. For example, developers, HR. Assign roles at the group level for simplicity and accuracy. Automate access reviews. Leverage tools that notify you of unused accounts or stale permissions. Automation ensures regular reviews without manual effort. Secure privileged accounts. Privileged accounts, like system administrators, require special protection. Limit their use, monitor activity, and enforce strict policies. With these steps in place, you'll have a secure and streamlined IAM setup that's scalable for growth while staying resilient against modern threats. Even with the best intentions, many IT professionals fall into avoidable traps when working with IAM. Let's address some of the most common mistakes. Over-permissioning users. Granting too much access out of convenience is one of the biggest security risks. Always assign the least privilege necessary for a user's role. Neglecting policy maintenance. Static policies that were set up years ago without updates can become a liability. Schedule routine policy reviews to ensure ongoing relevance. Ignoring inactive accounts. Failing to remove accounts for employees who've left the organization or for temporary users can leave your system vulnerable to exploitation. Skipping MFA implementation. While passwords are convenient, they're often not enough. MFA is a critical safeguard that should never be overlooked. Lack of documentation and role clarity. Without proper documentation, troubleshooting and auditing become unnecessarily difficult. Document roles, permissions, and policies to maintain clarity. Avoiding these mistakes will spare you unnecessary headaches while keeping your systems secure. Let's switch gears and walk through a practical IAM setup step by step. Imagine you're setting up a cloud environment for a small team of developers. Start by adding all your developers as users in the IAM system. If your platform supports it, group them under one developers group for easier management. Create a developer role that includes only the permissions they need. For example, permission to access specific development environments or to deploy code. Avoid adding unnecessary permissions for tasks they don't handle, like admin access. Write policies like this. Grant read-only access to production servers. Grant. Write access to development servers. Deny access to sensitive admin tools. Assign the developer role to users within the developers group, and thoroughly test access to confirm it aligns with expectations. Adjust any errors before rolling out the setup fully. Require multi-factor authentication for all users. Most platforms allow this to be enforced at the group or role level, so it's applied systematically. This setup ensures security, usability, and efficiency. It's a foundational process you can apply across various departments or projects in your organization. Looking ahead, IAM's role in security is only going to expand as threats evolve and systems become more interconnected. Some trends to watch out for include machine identities. As systems rely more on machine-to-machine interactions, IAM will need to scale beyond human usernames to include automated processes and bots. Zero trust models. IAM will increasingly integrate with zero trust architectures, where no user is automatically trusted regardless of their location. Decentralized identity models. Blockchain and other technologies may empower users to manage their own digital identities. By staying informed and building a strong foundation now, you'll be better equipped to adapt to these advancements. IAM doesn't have to be overwhelming. By understanding the basics, following best practices, and avoiding common pitfalls, you can create a secure, scalable system that protects your organization without complicating workflows. To recap, we've covered the core components of IAM: identities, authentication, and authorization. Using policies and roles to simplify permissions. Best practices like least privilege, MFA, and regular audits dot common mistakes, such as over-permissioning and neglecting inactive accounts. A practical walkthrough for setting up your first IAM configuration. Now, it's time to put what you've learned into action. Start by setting up a simple IAM system for one team or project. Remember, the first step is often the most important. Once you've mastered the basics, you can scale and refine your approach as needed. Let us know in the comments how your IAM journey is going, or if you've run into any roadblocks. We're here to help. Like and subscribe for more practical IT insights. And until next time, keep your systems secure.